All right, hello. Welcome. This is Tim from the Current Gen podcast. Just gonna play a little Valheim, one of my favorite games over the last few years, and figured what better way to start this new year than to do some Let's Play with one of my favorites that I keep going back to. So nothing super special here. Just gonna create a character, start a new world, bum around, maybe get to the first boss over the first couple of sessions here. Yeah, and if it's fun, if I like doing it, I'll keep going. If you guys like it, let me know. I'll keep going. But yeah, no major plans here outside of just playing a really cool game. So let's just jump right in, create our character, get rolling here. Alrighty, let's see here. Hopefully you guys can see this now. Yeah, I think it's up. Alright, so let's create our new character. Let's create a male Viking here. Let's make him real vampire-like. Let's give him some hair. What should we give him? Let's see. Let's go with... That's pretty cool. Let's do like the cornrows, sort of, with the long ponytail. Why not? Gotta have a beard. That first one's pretty good, actually. Yeah, those are all pretty cool. Let's do this one. A little shorter beard. I've got characters with longer beards. Let's do this one. Let's make the hair tone. Let's see. What do we got? Let's make it dark. It's pretty red. Some browns. That's fine. Let's do that. Let's take out the blondness. How about that? There we go. Now it's black. I like that. That's cool. Alright, and then let's name him Nestor, since that's me. Alright, let's do this thing. And we're going to start a new world. We're going to create a new world here. Let's do a new one. Let's call it... I've already got a few, as you can see there. Other worlds I've created. Current gen worlds I've created just for fun. But this one, let's call it... let's see... We've already got Current Heim, which is kind of funny. This time, let's go with Current Gen Pod. Let's just call it that, because that's what we're playing. Alright, let's go. Alright, if you guys haven't played this game before, it's a kind of open world survival game with some very light action elements, a lot of kind of survival RPG elements. Not RPG in the sense of like picking a class or upgrading abilities so much, much more in the survival side of things where, you know, the more you swim, the more you run, the more you jump, better your skill is in those things, the less stamina it takes. So yeah, it's weird to call it an RPG, although there is some cool stuff being developed by mods that are going to potentially give you an RPG experience, which I'm very excited about. We might try that out here in the coming weeks and months as that gets closer. But anyway, it randomly, procedurally generates a world, which is what it's doing now. That's why it's taking a minute to load. And then it will drop you in the middle with these sacred stones, and then we'll start gathering stuff and moving ahead. But why do I like this game? I don't know. I don't usually like survival games all that much, if I'm being honest. It's not really my favorite genre. But this one just caught me. It grabbed my attention when it came into early access almost 3 years ago, and it's been a very regular game for me. I don't ever uninstall it. It's always ready to play, and I love it. So anyway, you can read this if you're interested, but the idea here is that he basically was getting the souls of these warriors and bringing them back to life in this new world he's created. That's what Odin's been doing. Not really sure to what end. I guess he was trying to get warriors to fight for him. As you play the game, there's this weird cloaked figure, who I assume is Odin, who will show up and then he'll disappear if you get too close to him. So, I don't know. I don't know if in the final version of the game, if they have any kind of story... I don't know, any kind of story-based way of including him or talking about him. I'm not sure what the plan is there, but anyway. But there's me in my Viking undies, basically. And we'll see what kind of world we've got. Alright, got a lot of meadows around. That's cool. You always start in the meadows, the first biome here. Doesn't look like I'm near water immediately, so I'll have to get there. Alright, we got some rain. Alright, let's talk to Hugin. Yep, these megaliths right here. This is where you take the boss trophies after you beat them to unlock their powers. Alright, and so these redstones will add to the map the location of bosses. So here's what our map looks like so far. This is our flight path with the harpy there. Otherwise, it is a big blank slate. Who knows what we've got. There are some tools out there. Here, you can go away. There's some online tools where you can plug the seed into a generator and it'll show you where everything is. But I have always liked to just discover it for myself. So anyway, alright, so as you start out, we'll just run around and collect all the stones and sticks that we can, because we need to start building a few basic tools. We'll grab some raspberries to eat, because we don't have any weapons or tools yet. So let's just collect some things. Oh, there's Hugin again. Found a snack. Yep, I know. Oh, what else we got, Hugin? Yep, he wants me to craft some things out of wood and stone. Got it, buddy. You got it. Alright. So we'll collect some of these things. One thing I do like about the food system is that it gives you a buff. Like your base stamina is pretty low. It is normally, let's see, what is the stamina usually at? I think stamina is usually at 50. Yeah, now it's at 70 with the raspberry. And then your health is usually at 25. So when you eat something, it buffs those two things up. And it becomes super important if you want to have success later. Oh, let's fight this guy. Got to get some punches in. I forgot how weak you are to start these games. That's right. Viking punches, Grayling. Come here. There we go. His the blood looks like that that yellow dude from Sin City. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about. Oh, there's a boar. I need to make something before I fight him. Alright, so let's create a hammer. We're going to need that. And next up, we'll get a club. So let's collect some more sticks. Oh, let's see. He's going to tell me about my hammer. Yep, build a workbench. Thank you. I don't pick the dandelions. I don't really need those till much later. There's really only a few recipes they're used in, and they're much later in the game compared to where I am now. I mean, they're not late game, but they're later than now. They would just sit in my inventory, taking up space. Mushrooms are good, though, because you can eat those. There we go. See that? My health and stamina maxes just kind of go up. Alright, so we got a lot of rocks. Let's go find some more sticks. Let's see here. So yeah, the main goal is, of course, to build some of your basic tools. And then, really, I want enough to get an axe so I can start chopping down some trees and some bushes to get wood. And I can build my first shelter. That's kind of goal number one. Get your first shelter and bed. That way you can get the rest buff. And yeah, then you can go. Then you can start upgrading things from there. So we're just getting some of those. I need one more stick for a club. There we go. Let's make our club. Alright, I like to put the torch. I rarely use the torch unless I wander too far and I'm not strong enough. It's good to scare away certain enemies. But otherwise I keep my hammer and my main weapon at 1 and 2. It's usually how I roll. There we go, lots of sticks. Let's go get this boar. So if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, hit control, or I think on the controller, might be clicking one of the sticks. I can't remember which one makes you sneak. But you can build up your sneak skill literally just by walking around in sneak mode. Which, if an animal stops moving, usually you can sneak up on them if the wind's blowing the right direction. We'll see if I can sneak up on this dumb boar. I feel like he knows I'm there. Oh yeah, he's listening. Let's just go get him. There we go. Alright, we're going to need a lot of leather scraps and then deer hide eventually, but for right now, just the basics. Still need lots of wood, so when we build our workbench, we're going to need for it to be within some sort of makeshift shelter in order to really use it and craft things like axes. Oh, I can make a stone axe. Nice. There we go. That's what I needed. Stone axe. Nice. So now I can get wood at a faster pace by chopping down some bushes and small trees. I can do big trees too. It's just they take a long time. As you can see, there you go. As you do things like jumping, running, as you saw with sneaking and wood cutting, those skills go up. What that means is basically doing that action just costs less stamina the higher the skill level is. It's really just that simple, where it'll drain less stamina to do that thing. So the more you run, the more you jump, the more you use certain weapons, chop wood. Eventually, as we use a pickaxe on stone and stuff like that, yeah, it just uses a little less stamina the next time. Alright, let's see where we're at. We might be close enough to build a little makeshift lean-to. Oh, here we go. Let's get these guys. I don't think I can sneak up on them successfully here. See, my stamina is going down pretty quick because I don't have very high sneak ability yet. He's gonna see me. Yep, he sure did. Come here, fella. Oh, I got a boar trophy too. Uh-oh. Really cutting it close with this low health. I keep forgetting. I'm playing as if I'm farther in the game, like some of my other saves. Gotta be a little more careful. Okay. So that meat that you get from the boars. Oh. There's a deer. Now the deer hide is really what you need in order to gear up properly for the first boss. Now if you look, you can see the particles floating to the right. That's the direction that the wind is blowing. So if I spend too much time behind the deer, they're going to smell me. So I got to try to just start swinging real quick here. Got him. It's really not until you get a bow and arrow that you can successfully hunt deer regularly, but it's nice when you get a freebie like that one. Alrighty. Let's keep grabbing some more sticks. It's nice to get a full stack of 50. In the inventory, you can see it gives you a count, and then the second number is your max you can have of that type of item in a stack. So I like to have a full stack of 50, and then feel pretty comfortable about building a little shelter then. I also like to find a good spot. Like the first shelter you build is never your permanent spot, but it is kind of nice to have a spot you'll be in for a little while. We know that the boss is northwest, so maybe my shelter should be somewhere that direction, although not really required. Let's see, I do like being at the top of a hill. Do we like this spot? Have to clear it out a bit more, maybe. Let's see what we got here. Oh, gotta keep collecting things as I go. Gonna need stone for the fireplace. Gonna need stone for other tools coming up. So you can never have too much stone and wood, that's for sure. All right. It's funny as I'm playing. I haven't started a brand new kind of fresh world on this for a while. I'm just used to running for a lot longer and that kind of thing. So it is really cool now that I'm experiencing it yet again from the beginning. They have a great progression system in this, where you really truly do feel stronger, faster, more able to build and explore as you progress in the game. They make it tough at first, not impossible, but tough. And they don't harass you with you're feeling hungry messages. See, like down here in the bottom left, you see this little 2-minute on the raspberry, and it's flashing. That means I can eat another one if I want to replenish that. But I have 2 minutes left of a buff from that one. And that's not a huge buff. I think right now, let's see what I've got. Let's see. I thought there was a spot to see. Maybe I'm just forgetting. Anyway, see how it's down to 56 seconds and counting? So I can just eat another one, and it'll replenish to 10 minutes. And that just gives me that buff. Over time, it does deprecate a little bit. It'll, instead of being, you know, the normal 7 health and 20 stamina buff you see right there. Oh, there's current. See it in parentheses right beside it? Health 7, stamina 20, and then my current total of both of those is in parentheses. So there you go. And I can't eat the meat yet, the deer meat or the boar meat, because I have to cook that. We have to get a fireplace going for that. So we will get to that. Anyway, I like the systems here. They're not always warning you with like, hey, you're thirsty. Hey, you're hungry. Hey, you're tired. It's more of, if you want to be buffed in those areas with food and rest, then do that. If not, you don't have to, but you know, you're going to want to the next chance you get. I think that's a much better system. It's less punishing. It's more about rewarding you for taking care of your character and less about punishing you for not obeying their rules. Now this looks like a cool opening. Maybe this is where we're going to do our first. Look at that. I love that. I love the way it opens up. All right, that is cool. Yeah, we're going to build our first shelter somewhere in this big open plain here. You see those big trees? We don't have a tool strong enough to chop those down yet, but those give you a new type of wood, which is great. Speaking of which, let's get some more wood from these guys. All right, we are almost there, over 50. Enough to make a nice little, there we go. Enough to make a shelter. So let's, oh, what is up there? That looks like another boss location. That is a boss location. All right, we can summon the first boss there. Great. You know what we might do? We might just make our shelter in this plain area, not too close to the boss. I don't want him to wreck it. And then we'll start gearing up for that first boss. All right, so let's clear some space here a little bit. Uh-oh, got a friend coming. Come here, fella. There we go. All right, so let's build our workbench. All right, and then we can, well, let's talk to Hugin. Yeah. I can use build pieces. I can build some more equipment. If you hit use, I'm trying to use it, and it won't let me because crafting station needs a roof. So I just plop this bench down. That way I can start building a little shelter. So there's a bunch of ways to build shelter in this game. Once I get a new tool called a hoe, I can flatten this ground out a little bit and make a better one. But since I don't have that yet, I'm just going to be using a couple of beams here to, there we go, let's do it that way, to kind of map out a little shelter. So we'll do it like this. That doesn't need to be too big. That's probably good enough. All right, let's build a little pole underneath. So if you can see when I hover over it, blue means that is a foundational piece. It's touching the ground, and as soon as it turns green, that means it's got good support, but it's not foundational. It's not touching the ground. So this blue one is. So that's what that means. That's how you know, like, the structural integrity as you go. So what I usually do is I will add these little support pieces underneath. They've added some really cool snapping abilities in recent updates. So usually you had to just kind of keep moving around and try to find the right angle, but now you can toggle snapping to the bottom, so that way it goes like that, to the top, or auto. And various pieces have different kind of automated options like that, which is cool. All right, so we're going to make our entrance actually, let's have our entrance be right here. Okay. Let's finish making that. Okay. There we go. Now let's put a floor in. Sometimes I build the walls first so I can get a roof up, because if it starts to rain, it will start to damage your floor pretty quickly. I'm already out of wood. Look at that. Yeah, I told you. 50 wasn't even enough. I guess I overbuilt here to start with. I should have made something simpler. That's all right. We will get some more wood and get it going. those logs are too tough to cut for me, so I'll go over here to these little saplings. Much quicker to farm these. And they also give you resin sometimes, which resin, of course, you use for torches or for whether it's torches you hold or whether it's actually, what are they called? Like the kind that you stick in the ground. Those are called, yeah, just a standing torch. All right. See, a little resin pops out sometimes. You also use it for other things later, like boats. Okay, we'll chop these bushes. Usually the bushes that are going to have raspberries, you don't want to chop those. Sometimes I do by accident or don't care. But they're usually bright green. Gives you like a sign that those are healthier ones. And you don't want to chop those because they'll grow raspberries again later. See the difference here? This one on the right has a brighter green to it. This one's kind of a dead color. That's never going to grow anything. So I don't mind chopping those dead bushes. Get some wood. Okay. Try to chop down our first tree. It's just going to take a while because... Oh, you see that? I hit the enemy, so it gives me axe skill point. You have two different skills you can build up with the axe, wood cutting and then fighting, because you can use axes as a weapon. I never really do that, though. I usually use a sword or other weapons they provide in the game. Different types of spears, things like that. Okay, let's eat. There we go. Hey, alright. Got some feathers, got some seeds. I don't usually chop the stumps, but they look so ugly. So I'm going to get rid of them. Alright, so I'm playing with keyboard and mouse. You have a regular attack, but then the middle mouse button that you saw me do like an overhead swing, that does kind of your alternate attack. Not all weapons have an alternate attack, but most of them do. Like swords have a big stab move you can do. Axes have the big overhead swing. Alright. Oof, see that? I was not paying close enough attention, and the way that that log fell took off a big old chunk of health. Ouch. Okay. It's getting dark. We want to try to get... Alright, our axe broke. Alright, hopefully that's enough wood to at least get... Let's at least get a cover over here. Alright, so let's do this. Let's just create our corner walls and roof. That way we can put up... Let's do a steep roof. That way we can put up our crafting table inside. And then we'll finish the house after we repair our axe. There we go. So let's take that guy apart, bring him inside. Let's see if that's covered enough. Yeah, it is. Nice. All right, so you can do a couple things here. You can build new things, as you can see in the menu here. And you can also repair when this is glowing. It's just telling you you've got items in your inventory that can be repaired. So you just click it real fast, and it'll repair them all one by one. Doesn't cost you anything. One of my favorite things, too, about the game. It's not punishing you for repairing. And when I used to play, I used to just build another stone axe. They don't cost that much. But then you have a whole bunch of axes in your inventory, and it's much later in the game until you can... get rid of unwanted items. For now, you have to just kind of throw them out into the wilderness or keep them in a box, and it's, I don't know. I don't like doing that. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and make. Yep, we'll make a hoe. Always good to have one of those. Can level the ground, create paths, things like that. But we are needing to get. Here, let's do this. We need to get going here with our building. I'm sorry, yeah, with our shelter so we can sleep. I think this is going to be where our fireplace is. Put that in the corner. All right. Let's finish building our walls here. We'll create a little chimney out of that one. So that one will actually put some walls up like that. Oh, so see, it's hard to snap. I got to use the new tools here, so it'll snap to the bottom nice and easy. I just need to use those more. I forget about them sometimes. So see that? Kind of creates a nice little chimney for us. Okay. How much wood do we have left? Oh, that was it. That was pretty much it. It's funny that I checked right then. Alright, what are your tidings? Oh yeah, that's about the hoe. Yep. Thanks, buddy. Alright, let's go finish chopping this. What's he gonna say now? Temperature drops at night. Yep. See at the top right where I have the mini map, then right beside it, it has some status. If you get poisoned or are wet or cold, it'll tell you that up there. Oh, I gotta eat again. So, oh, whoops. Let's eat a raspberry. Cold, I mean, most of those kind of effects, cold or wet, they usually just mean that your stamina regenerates much more slowly than during the day or when you're warm. So yeah, that's usually the biggest downside of it being nighttime. Unless you're well rested, you can kind of still operate pretty well at night. But I am not currently rested. Still need a little more wood to finish our first little house. We can hopefully sleep and start hunting some deer and boar in the morning. Alright, it takes much more wood to build than I was anticipating there. I did not do a good job of estimating that. Alright, see our little half-finished house down here. You know what we also need to do is create a little chimney roof. You don't want our fire to go out if it starts to rain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple little beams, and then we'll put a little roof up on top of there. There we go. That way if it rains, it won't put the fire out, but it's still plenty of space for the smoke to get out. Alright, and we will do a little more roof, and then we are all set. Okay. Yep, and last one. Listen, I know it's not the prettiest little hut, but it's a good starter one. There we go. Let's get a door. There we go. And you see that? You feel rested. Comfort 3. So you get extra points of comfort for things like furniture and decoration, overall high quality stuff. Alright, let's build a bed and crash for our first night. Wow, Hugin, that was uninvited. Alright, sleep the night away. It's good practice to always have some spare equipment. Yep. Good advice. So we claim this bed. If you don't do that, then you'll always spawn back at these stones right here when you die if you don't have a spawn point set. So we'll go ahead and sleep until the morning here. There we go. Day number 1 successful. Got our first shelter. Got some food. A couple pieces of equipment. Next up is to start to gear up. We need better armor, maybe a flint weapon, shield. Those things should be enough to get us going for the first boss fight here. So let's repair. You can see I can build wood arrows, but I can't yet build a bow. I really need the bow, not only for the boss fight, but also for hunting to prepare for the boss fight. So I'm going to need 5 more leather, it looks like, for that. So we are going to build a little storage chest. Drop a bunch of stuff in here that I don't want to carry around all day. Alrighty, we don't need seeds with us. Feathers I don't care about, they weigh like nothing. We need to keep our food. Oh, speaking of food, let's cook some food real quick. Little cooking station. Just build 1. Actually, we'll build 2. Alright, so we can cook some meat. Let that go for a sec. There we go. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and fuel up the fire. There we go. Nice. Alright, not bad so far. Okay, so we got some cooked meat. And then one last piece there. So we'll keep this meat with us. Actually, I'll go ahead and eat a piece. There we go. So we'll keep that with us to eat as we go. You can see comfort 4, it added a point because of the bed. As we move along, we'll be able to build more furniture. Like once I get... Actually, I probably could use that deer hide. I just don't want to waste it. But yeah, as you saw there, I could build a rug, a deer hide rug. And that adds comfort. But I need the deer hide for leather gear. So we will hold off on that. Alright, sounds like it's raining. Oh yeah. Nope, not raining, but it's foggy. Alright, there's our first little hut. Not too shabby. Nice and cozy. Hey, look at that. Raspberries. I didn't even see those. Alright. Let us... We need to get some boar. The good thing about them is they're usually out in these open plains. Look, there's one right there. And they don't... I mean, they kind of walk away from you, but they don't run away from you. Once they see you, they will come right to you. Because they don't like you. But see, they walk away when you're nearby. So what we really need is a bow from these guys. We need their leather so we can make a bow. The fog does make seeing a little bit tricky. Just looking for movement. Sometimes you can find them near raspberries, or they even sometimes will have these kind of monuments where there's kind of like an old message or a poem or something about creatures of the land. And they usually congregate around those if it's about a boar. Alright, so this is interesting. These rock formations you see here, later in the game we'll get an item that will help us to sense treasure that's nearby. And in these formations, more often than not, there's some kind of treasure under the ground that you can dig your way to, but we don't have the tools for that yet. I used to mark them on my map, but there's so many of them in the world, it's not really worth filling up your map with all those. Oh, let's go up here to the boss summon. Hugin's going to tell us all about it. Can summon the Forsaken here. Yep, he's going to suggest that we get suited up a little bit. I agree. But if you read the runestone, it'll tell you hunt his kin. It's got a deer, so you can. That's kind of your clue that you're going to want to get a bunch of deer trophies, and then you're going to offer those items here. So yeah, but we are not ready for that yet. I'm going to go down here. I see a boar already. Let's get to this guy. Let's just run and attack. Yeah, most weapons have a 3-hit combo. They'll have like a swing, swing, and then overhead smash. It just depends on the weapon, but most one-handed weapons like swords and clubs at least. And of course that final one does the most damage. So even if you miss 1 or 2 swings, it's okay to start swinging before they're in that hit radius, because the second and especially third swing will do a lot more damage. Oh man, we get a lot of boars around here. There we go. 4 leather scraps already. We are almost ready to go make our crude bow. Okay, let's see how we doing on food. Let's eat another raspberry. We got so many of those. We'll have to look for some more mushrooms if we see them. By the way, different foods have different kind of focuses. So like usually vegetable-based stuff, like we'll be able to plant vegetables later in the game, and then anything you pick off the ground, it's usually going to be like with these red mushrooms, you can see it's health and stamina equal, 15-15. But for the raspberries, it's much more stamina focused. Same thing with other fruits you get and other plants that you can plant. Meat-based stuff is usually going to be all about health, so it adds a lot more health, and it buffs your stamina a little bit, but not a ton. So yeah, I think it's best to have a combo of the two. When I'm exploring, I love to just carry stamina-based foods with me, so I can run and jump a lot more. But if you're going to be in an area where you're going to get attacked a lot, you don't have a lot of good gear, sometimes it's good to have the health buff to survive a hit or two. Oh boy, there we go. We need these guys. Not sure if I'll be able to sneak up to them or not. The wind is blowing left to right. See if I can get close enough without spooking them. Ah, didn't get a good enough hit in. And I can't run fast enough. Sometimes they double back though. Sometimes they're stupid and they come back, running back through the area. Well, that's a bummer. That is why I need more boar first to get a bow. If I had a bow, that's... Even with the weakest bow and the weakest arrows, those deer, if they don't see you, it's usually a one-shot kill. That's alright. No need to spend my time trying to chase them down on foot. We'll have a bow soon enough. Alright, let's find some more boar. Or see if those deer come running right back to us. No one ever accused them of being the brightest animals. Man, there's so many raspberries. I used to also mark on my map whenever I'd find like a gathering of raspberries like this. But again, there's just so many. Maybe if it's your first time playing or you want to make sure you find a clump of them, you could do that. But I've never really used it. You know, I used to mark them and then realize, wow, my map is just getting cluttered with, you know, landmarks and stuff. So I stopped doing that. And that is how the map works, by the way. You pull it up, it'll bring up some icons for you, like bosses, your sacred stones. And then you can see there's 2 different spots where I can summon the boss. There's multiple. There's more than 2 for every boss in the game. And so those will show up on their own as you add those to the map. And then wherever your spawn point is. Everything else, though, you have to add. Like I'd have to add a little house icon and put home, right? Because that's my home for right now. So I like to do that kind of thing. And I used to do things like this. I had a little dot and I'd put, you know, berries or something. But that just, it started to fill up everywhere. So I stopped doing that just to keep my map a little cleaner, to be able to see the important stuff. All right. Still looking for boar. Just kind of opening up the map too. As you can see, I'm doing a bit of a, I kind of worked my way down. We set up a spot to sleep, and I'm just going to kind of circle through. I might even do a little bit of a snake pattern or something, just trying to uncover the map while hunting some boar. So, yeah, not a whole lot of method to the madness. It's mostly I also just like to explore, so whatever catches my attention, I'll kind of wander that direction. Let's see what's here. I do like that they have these old huts. What I don't like, what I wish they would do is have like actual functional lived-in places to use. Oh, okay, so look at this. See this old hut? You see that right there? That is a beehive, and that's going to be great. We can get honeycomb from that. So there's a lot of ways to do this. You could like start attacking it and get it that way. What I'm going to do instead, I'm going to go get some more wood, and we're just going to deconstruct that whole building, and then the beehive should just fall on its own once it has nothing to support it anymore. There we go. So I'll put up a crafting table, and now I can use my hammer to disassemble everything. You can also repair it if you decide you want to use a structure that pre-exists. You could repair everything. I've only done that a few rare times. So let's knock all these down. As you can see, things are turning red as they get less and less support. There we go. Beehive down. Oh, there we go. So not only does that give us a whole bunch of wood, but now we've collected a queen bee, and a piece of honey, so we can eat the honey if we want to. That does 8 and 35 stamina. It's great stamina boost, especially early in the game, and it's great for some recipes later on, some different jerkies and stuff. But for right now, where that's really handy is just as a basic food to eat. So when we go back, we'll build a little beehive using the queen bee, and then that will generate that honeycomb for us, or that honey for us, which is super nice. All right. Holy smokes! Look at all these raspberries. I know I don't need to collect all this. I have a problem. I just feel like it never hurts to have a few stacks of raspberries, sitting back at home in the storage box. That way I've always got something if I run out. I've got something I can lean on. So, whatever. Shut up. That's how I do it. Okay. We are still looking for boar. All right. All right. Well, I think we're actually going to pause it right here, and we'll circle back to this. We'll do another part as we continue to hunt some boar and get ready for that first boss. But thanks for checking it out so far. See ya.